Hey guys, how's it going? OG Kish back with a new video. Today I'm doing a fight breakdown for Paulo Costa and Yoel Romero. Did Yoel Romero get robbed? I'm going to do a literal minute by minute breakdown of every single round, all 3 rounds. Here we go. The first minute of round 1, we see Paulo Costa trailing Yoel Romero the entire time. Now this is something he does throughout most of the fight. This is not anything new. Yoel does catch him with some crazy shit though. Romero is moving so smooth. Romero, he lands a punch when he comes in from a spinning attack. He lands a head kick. And then at the 4-minute mark, we see Paulo Costa drop Yoel Romero. And then after that, seconds after that, we see Yoel Romero land a shot that drops Paulo Costa, sending them back to the middle of the octagon. After a little scramble, they get back up to their feet, pushing Yoel back up against the cage, kind of. Well, not really, but they're standing. Yoel has his back up against the cage. They're trading shots. Paulo Costa lands some good combinations, some good body kicks. Yoel, a few counter shots. Nothing too crazy happens here after they both basically drop each other. That was an insane moment of the fight. Costa landing some more combinations. Yoel still back up against the cage. Yoel likes to roll and land counter shots with the left, which he does a few times here. Yoel, very good trying to get out of this current situation he's in. Costa keeps landing these big shots. Costa goes on a barrage as well, where he just lands big hook shots that he just keeps throwing, and he's still tracing. He's still tracking Yoel down. Now we see Yoel throw a big overhand, which pushes Costa back for 2 seconds, and then we see Costa then push forward, but then Yoel comes in with a big flying knee, sending them to the opposite side of the cage up into a clinch. The flying knee lands pretty flush, but I don't know if it like brutally hurt Costa. Like he kind of smiled and looked at Yoel after. I don't know. He didn't look like he was super hurt. And then we get the accidental nut shot. At this point in round 1, Costa has landed 80% of his body strikes. 12 out of 15. And we're seeing the same thing here again after the nut shot. After they recover, come back to the fight, we see Paulo Costa stalking and chasing down Romero. Romero's landing maybe 1 or 2 big significant strikes, but Costa is just, he's always there. He's not giving Yoel any time to do anything really. Yoel gets in close with Costa and then eventually kind of shoots a takedown. Costa stuffs the takedown, lands massive shots while on top of Yoel. Then they get up and then Yoel lands pretty big shots of his own while they're coming up off the ground. Honestly, guys, when it comes to round 1, I think I'm going to have to give it to Costa. Honestly, Costa was there the entire time, not giving Yoel any time to land shots. And when Yoel did land shots, they were big, significant shots, but Costa was just stalking him. First round was Costa's round. Instantly coming into round 2, we see Yoel using front kicks and a lot of kicks, trying to keep space, trying to keep distance, because Costa is just all over him in the first round. Costa lands 2 bombs, kind of throwing them back in a weird motion where they get into a clinch and then they break up out of the clinch. Yoel uses a lot of clinch work in this fight. A lot of uppercuts land. A lot of small shots land that the judges I don't think maybe saw, or they just didn't think it was that significant. Obviously, at the end of the fight, I'm pretty sure Yoel did land more significant strikes. Costa is there all day with the kicks, leg kicks, body kicks. Yoel catches the kick a couple times, lands the shot after catching it, but not that often does he catch it. In the second round, Costa's still landing basically 80%, 79% body strikes, 22 out of 28. And just before this popped up, Costa landed 2 big left hooks to Yoel flush. And again, back up against the cage, Yoel throws some strikes, but then Costa comes in with the big hook combinations, and Yoel is just sticking his tongue out at him. It's funny as shit. I love when he does that. Looking at the advancing percentages in the second round, this is the fight so far. We have Costa 51%, Yoel Romero 11%, guys. This right here is the main reason why Costa had such a dominant performance, quote unquote, they say. The advancing was just always there. Yoel was never really advancing that often. 11%. To 51%. Yoel starts landing some nice combinations here. around the halfway mark in the second round. Now this is where we see Yoel start to come out. 2 minutes, the jab is there. The jab is always there. He is relentless with that jab. Yoel tries to call for an eye poke. Nothing happens though. The ref continues the fight. Fight continues on. Jabs keep landing from Yoel. He is, like I said, relentless with the jab. Around a minute 30, obviously earlier in the second round, but around a minute 30, you see Costa put his hands on his waist, and he's definitely tired. He got tired pretty early in the second round. He's gassed. We just see Yoel keep landing these small shots. He's just trying to break down Costa slowly but surely. Keeps landing jabs, small kicks. Costa keeps landing bombs. Whenever he's landing a shot, he's trying to throw everything into it. Yoel gets a big takedown at the end of round 2, and now at the beginning of round 3, we see something a bit different. We see Yoel start to come out on the attack and start advancing a bit. That changes, though, as Costa now starts pushing Yoel up against the fence. Yoel lands some pretty big shots, though, getting Costa up into a clinch where he lands some pretty big shots again. After the big shots landing from Yoel, though, they see the clinch break up, and now Costa's landing big shots, actually pushing Yoel back up into the cage. I think Yoel starting to get a little tired after the second round. Costa lands some more big body shots, and then some more shots land, some more light taps here and there. Then we get a ref stoppage. Yoel was extending his hand out towards Costa. Ref is trying to stop that from happening. After they're good to go, they come in, start swinging instantly. Costa lands a big leg kick, throws some shots that don't land, kind of feeling each other out here a little bit, and then Costa comes in with some more big bombs landing. What we're seeing now is, though, Yoel is no longer back up against the cage. They're toe-to-toe in the middle of the octagon now. Costa has been there all day landing shots to the body. Big, brutal body shots, punches, kicks, not stopping. But Yoel just keeps tapping him up. Whenever he has the opportunity to counter-strike and land shots, he does. Yoel comes back, though, actually landing some big bombs, sending Costa kind of a little bit more defensive now. He's not trying to rush in. This is where we see Yoel start to come out, landing some massive shots, actually sending Costa to the opposite side of the octagon. Now, this is where Costa sticks his tongue out at Yoel, which Yoel has been doing the entire time to Costa. Holy fuck, that was a mouthful. This entire video is a mouthful. But let's keep it going. Now they just start trading, basically. Both fighters are just landing shots. Costa gets hit by a big back fist, though. We see some shots miss, and now we actually have Yoel pushing Costa back up against the cage, up in a clinch, landing some big shots, uppercuts, and then leaving the clinch. The last 2 minutes of round 3 is where I think Costa kind of gave up and where Yoel really started taking the points, you know what I mean? Like, Costa multiple times, third round where there was 2 minutes left, back up against the cage, just wants Yoel to fight up against the cage because he's dead tired. Yoel says, no, come to the middle, come fight me. And he does. They just throw shots. Big shots landing. Bombs landing from both fighters. And the last minute of the fight was literally basically just Yoel pouring it on Paulo Costa. Costa was dead, up against the cage in a clinch. Just Yoel landing brutal shots the entire time. The third round was Yoel's round, guaranteed. In conclusion, who do I have winning this fight, guys? I do think this was a very close battle, okay? And both fighters obviously had their moments. Yoel landing massive shots, Costa landing massive shots. But I feel like the key to this fight was the overall control. Now, Costa was pushing Yoel back for most of the fight. And although Yoel was landing big shots, Costa was just there the entire time. Other than in the third round where he basically, I would say Costa literally gave up in the third round. Pretty much, like he was dead. The third round is where Yoel really came out. Now, significant head strikes, 96 to 55. Yoel landed 96. Paulo Costa, though, landed 43 body strikes to Yoel's 7. That is where also Costa really showed up and showed out. Just murking Yoel in the body alone. Like, god damn. Knockdowns, they both knocked each other down. And advancing, Yoel went up to 13% when he was at 11 in the second round. And Costa dropped down to 46%. Obviously, the third round is where, like I said, Yoel really started to come out. First round, Costa, Second round is basically the deciding round. And when it comes down to it, guys, I kind of think Yoel took this fight. I think Yoel took this fight. Costa gassed. Costa gassed out. And he basically gave up. I mean, he landed a lot of brutal shots, but he wasn't able to put on a lot when he was tired. You know what I mean? When he was advancing a lot, he was kind of just standing there. But so was Yoel. I don't know. This was a really, really close fight, guys. This was a very close fight, but I do think Yoel took this. Come on, boys. The soldier of God. Let's fucking go. All right, man. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Please like, comment, and sub, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.